Welcome back to the Spook Wackadoo channel. I'm here today trying anti-rockers again, courtesy of Mike Deasy from DZ Visuals. He 3D printed some anti-rockers for me, and I figured it's worth a shot. Currently, I'm only at 2 sessions in, but I did want to remark some of the things that I thought coming back from Snaggletooth. Tri-Rocker definitely has a very special place in my heart, and I was doing Tri-Rocker without an anti-rocker in the second channel. I was just riding first channel, then Caveman in the second channel, and then 2 wheels in the heel. I'll be honest, I still think that setup is phenomenal because you get the skating of flat, but you also get the grinding of anti, and I've really enjoyed that, especially since I'm definitely very computer hunched forward like a little gremlin. And that really makes me lean very far forward into my grinds. And though it's still something I'm trying to work out, I've noticed that just deleting the second channel wheel and anti-rocker really makes that nice and easy for me. So the 3-down setup, the 6 wheels, has been great for me. That being said, I see where anti-rocker fits in, and it's very, very important to know the difference between the different types of setups and which one will be the best for you. So here are some of my thoughts coming back to anti-rocker. I've been keeping notes from my first 2 sessions because it's important for me to write this stuff down, otherwise it'll just leak out my ears. So let's start with the pros. So I feel like a lot of this might be pretty obvious, but I think it's important for me to touch on. Grinds glide a lot further with anti-rocker, and a big part of that is just because so much of the stuff in my town is angle iron like this ledge here. And when you have anti-rocker on top of that iron versus just trying to balance on the H-block like I've been trying to do with the second channel delete, it's easy just to lean into the anti-rocker and let the slide happen. Backsides are a ton easier. I definitely do not do backside tricks, and the backside in general, or a back UFO if you really want to be generous, is a lot easier for me with the anti-rockers instead of a third wheel. A big part is because, again, I do not practice backside tricks, but the anti-rockers gave me a lot of confidence to do that. My grind confidence in general is really high. I just don't find myself thinking about wheel bite at all, and that really, really helps with just feeling like I'm going to nail the trick. My right foot leading frontside and backside are definitely not a confident trick for me. I usually am doing front sides and back sides with my right foot in the back, leading with the left foot, but for the first time I'm able to just nail those tricks pretty easily. Not great, but I'm definitely doing them. Influencing your grind so that you can get back into the correct position is a lot easier. I definitely found it easier to find that H block when I have a little bit of leeway with slidey wheels. The landing feels a lot more solid. I didn't really think that was going to be the case, but the 2 wheels makes me definitely feel like I stomped every trick that I did. The anti-rockers are great for honing in H-block tricks. That's been really nice, being able to just kind of use the anti-rockers to find that H-block easier. I've always struggled with acid tricks, mainly the H-block foot in the front, and of course the anti-rockers help a lot with that because my heel doesn't get caught nearly as much because there's no third wheel. Savannah seems a lot more doable now. I'm definitely not good at them. I can lock the trick, but it definitely seems like I could get some slides out of it now, so I'm going to keep practicing that. And last, I find myself with an improved sense of balance because I'm not worried about locking into the trick and getting wheel bite. Like I said before, I really feel like I can commit to being on top of the obstacle and not worry about it. Now for the cons, I do think that anti-rocker fits a very important grinder niche, but here's the things that I don't think it fit for. Now, H-block tricks, though, it's nice to use this to hone in. I did find that I was able to wash out of the H-block a lot more, and it did seem like it took a while for me to learn the connection. Approaching a trick and rolling away from a trick takes a lot more precision. With the tri-rocker setup, I was able to influence my swivel into or out of when I land a grind. And with the train track feeling, you really have to make sure that your heels and toes are pointed in the direction you want to go, or you aren't going to and you'll fall. That being said, turning feels horrible compared to flat and specifically tri-rocker. Being able to really lean into your turns because you've got more surface area of wheels makes it so you have so much more control over those turns. So turning takes a lot more steps, and I definitely don't have that carve ability that I used to have. All of my tricks I can feel in my knees a lot more. I'm sure because that's just there's less urethane, so the shock is translated more to my legs than it is through the wheels and through the boot. Just goes right into my leg, it feels like. My tech and vert confidence is a lot lower. I definitely do not have that carvability that I used to have, so I find myself tripping when I'm trying to go up a quarter pipe or if I'm trying to do any swivels or turns into stuff. I can feel every crack and bump in this skate park when I ride around. All these minimal cracks and stuff are kind of distracting at first. You definitely feel a lot more when you're just riding the 4 wheels versus 6 and 8, obviously. I didn't realize how much I was using my heel wheels to push, so I've definitely been slipping out on my heel wheel a lot more because there's not 2 anymore. And then lastly, that train track feeling is really hard for me to get used to. I don't hate it, but feeling like you're locked into the straight line that you're going does not inspire as much confidence in me as being able to just quick swivel or influence my turn. I find myself tripping a lot more because I have to commit to every single action. There's just less leeway for actual flat and skating and vert. Now, I did have almost the same amount of pros and cons. I had 10 pros and 9 cons. A big thing about anti-rocker for me is I think it fits a very specific place in aggressive inline, but I don't think it is the best use case for all things aggressive inline. Now, that being said, I think I'm going to keep the anti-rocker in my second channel as I switch back to tri-rocker, but I am, in fact, going to switch back to tri-rocker. It has a very special place in my heart. I love that snaggletooth setup. The ability to skate like I'm riding flat, but the ability to grind like anti really makes me feel very happy. So, though I really appreciate these anti-rockers, it's definitely not something I think I'm going to commit to. There's definitely going to be some moments where I switch back to anti-rocker just to work on some grinds, I'm sure, because it's easy to forget how great anti-rocker is for grinding. But for general use and for my type of skating, I don't think anti-rocker is for me. That being said, got a lot of respect for anti-rocker skaters, especially the ones that have so much style on the flat ground, because I do not, and it is really, really hard to get used to. Anyway, thank you to Mike Deasy for printing these off for me. It means a lot to me, my brother. If you haven't been able to check out our religion interview with him yet, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, I'm going to catch you wackadoos in the next one. I hope your next session is a good one. Later, bladers.